Ian McIntyre joining us now. Coach, it's always great to see you. How you doing today?
Good. Thanks for having me on, guys.
All right, new season starts tomorrow. I know you've got 3 exhibition games under your belt. What did you learn during those 3 exhibition games?
Well, we're just listening. I've got a young group because you're playing Rod Stewart, and some of my guys don't know who that is. So I'm feeling old, but no, it's been a fun preseason, and we're anxious and excited to get playing tomorrow night.
All right, so, I know last year didn't go the way that you guys wanted it to. A 500 season, you missed out on the NCAA tournament. For the returning guys, I know there's quite a bit of new faces on this team, but for the returning guys, what did they learn? What do they take from last year to apply to this year as you try to look to improve upon last year's finish?
Hopefully a lot of experience. We threw a lot of young guys in at the deep end last year. We had quite a bit of turnover, and so used a lot of those new faces. And the ACC men's soccer schedule every year is like all of our sports, very unforgiving. No one feels sorry for you if you're a little bit young. So I think we'll learn from that. And the start of our season this year as well, we've ensured that we're going to test ourselves to prepare ourselves correctly for the challenges ahead in ACC conference play.
Coach, you brought up the ACC conference. I was looking at the preseason rankings yesterday, and SMU is 5th, Wake Forest is 6th, Pittsburgh is 7th, Clemson is 9th. I mean, it's a daunting schedule. It's a daunting conference. Can you speak to the competition in the ACC? And I would assume that if you get to the NCAA tournament, the rigors of the ACC get you battle tested and get you ready to make a run that time of year because you're playing the best night in and night out.
And when you come and you kind of go through those rankings as coaches, when we picked our preseason, you didn't even talk about Clemson. You got Wake Forest, Duke, NC State had a wonderful year. It was tough to get our conference any tougher, and then you add 3 times national champion Stanford. You talked about SMU. Cal's a terrific program as well. So it is it's a big challenge. It's a lot of fun. As a coach, you want to compete against the best. As a student athlete, you want to play and compete against the best as well. So it's for a lot of our Olympic sports and all of our sports, the ACC is the benchmark in college athletics, and to prepare during the week and then get to test yourselves at the weekend against the caliber of teams that we do is a lot of fun.
You mentioned the matchup with Stanford. First time you're ever playing Stanford at home. That's Friday, September 13th. From what I understand, big alumni weekend for the program. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, bringing in a couple of teams. Our 85 Big East Championship team will be back on campus, and our 2015 ACC champions. Our first game against Stanford, as I said, the history of that program, and it'll be fun and that's one of the exciting pieces of we're playing SMU for the first time. Cal will go out and compete against them. So it's nice to have, we're kicking off with like a UConn and having that tradition and that Big East relationship and that kind of regional challenge, but to also play some new teams as well. Really, it's an exciting season for us.
You mentioned the 2015 team. You're only 3 years removed from winning a national title. You're about to enter your 16th season as head coach here. I mean, can you speak to how you have been able to elevate, you and your staff have been able to elevate this program since you've been here? And when you got here, did you envision that, you would get to a point where you're winning national titles and conference titles and so on and so forth?
Well, that's the benchmark for us. And it hasn't, there's been no shortcuts. When we started out, like I can remember vividly getting ready 16 years ago for our first game with Coach Massillin and myself. We were hosting in Siena. Didn't go very well on that night. We've come a long way, and I'm very proud of the work that's gone in to help us continue to build, and the job's not over. To allow us to compete at the highest national level, to compete in the ACC, to make runs for national championships. We've certainly come a long way from that first home game against Siena, 16 years ago. But it's still the same excitement. It's still the same butterflies in your stomach going into and that's from a coaching staff as well as a young locker room as well. And was saying to the guys earlier that this is the fun time of the year. Look, you can cover all bases. You can go to the New York State Fair, or you can come and cheer on our men's soccer team. So hopefully they haven't put us up against a superstar band again this year. Hopefully it doesn't. No, but we've got a wonderful following. We've got a terrific community support, and we can't wait to get back out on tomorrow night under the lights.
I would imagine that the butterflies are always there for the opener, and that you're always curious. What can you expect with an opener? I would imagine that it's even more so now, right? Because you said you're bringing in 14 new players. This day and age with the portal and NIL, the teams are so new year in and year out. I mean, I guess, can you speak to how that has changed since you first got into coaching? Whereas you used to be able to build guys from freshman to sophomore to juniors and watch them grow through 4 years, and now there's so much turnover year to year.
Certainly, you're working on the X's and O's on the field and Syracuse soccer, but you're also trying to develop your locker room and your culture, not trying to rush anything. Look, 16 years ago, I still wanted a longer preseason to work with the guys. All players want shorter preseasons and just want to get out and compete and have some fun on the pitch. But you're right, with the turnover, the challenge is year in, year out of, look, if you have a good team, you're probably going to lose some of those guys to the pros. And if you have a team like last year, we had some big wins. We had, in moments, we were very close, but there's such a thin margin that we know it's not going to look perfect tomorrow night, nor should it, because we've been together for a couple of weeks. But if I like the progress, Steve, that we've made, and excited to see if we can keep building. And what we need to do is play good teams like UConn and find out where we are and what we need to work on.
In terms of tomorrow night's matchup, what can you tell us about this UConn squad that you're going to face? They're really good.
Had a chance to watch them a couple of times in preseason, coming off a couple of good results against Rhode Island and against they beat Boston College this weekend. Very technical team. It's going to be, which team can kind of impose their style of play on the game. I know we'll have some good moments, but I know we'll also be stretched, and we may have to suffer a little bit as well. And it will come down to those kind of small details. And but this is what we're looking for. We'll know a lot about ourselves come 9-10 o'clock tomorrow night, and we're just really. It's been fun preparing again for top competition at the SU Soccer Stadium, and we've got a very knowledgeable soccer community here, and these are the fun games that they want to see us compete in.
From a personnel perspective, who are some of your top players that we should be keeping an eye on this year?
We got this wonderful manager that's doing a great job right now, and he's keeping everything. So he's probably the MVP of preseason so far. After that, we've got some. Our guys will benefit from that extra year. So Sakil Ming's coming off a great year where he's represented Bermuda in a full national team. Shimre Amize was probably our most impactful freshman last year. But young guys like Kelvin DaCosta will benefit. Garrett Holman, who's done well, and then some of those older faces that Thomas Hutt will be our starting goalkeeper and one of our captains. He's got a lot of college experience, and I like the blend, Steve, of experience with this youthful enthusiasm, energy, perhaps a little bit of naivety, and but we're ready to get going.
I do appreciate the shout out to my son Luke. He is really enjoying himself. He's learned a lot, and if he gives you any trouble at all, you let me know, and I'll make sure we straighten that out. Okay?
No, he's gunning for my job right now, so it's no. He's been a wonderful addition over the last year to our program, and look, the strength of good programs are the people that are around the program as well. It's not just the guys you see wearing the striped jerseys. We've got a terrific look. Our Fork guys, data analytics group, are an integral part of what we do every practice in preparation. Our manager groups, I've got a wonderful coaching staff as well, and some very supportive families as well. This is my first preseason where I dropped off my daughter to Syracuse, so juggling the dad and husband during those kind of emotional moments. You can remember those as well. So it's I've seen preseason from a slightly different lens this over the last week, and it's been interesting.
Yeah, I can certainly relate. Just moved my daughter, who graduated from Syracuse, down to New York City a couple of weeks ago, so I can certainly relate to what you're going through. And as we're doing this interview, Coach, I got a text from Mario Sacco, and he said, make sure you ask Coach Mack who won the golf tournament. So I know that he's awfully proud of that.
Well, Mario as well, when I saw him yesterday, everything that we're trying not to do with our particular team, it's team first, it's not about self. And his comment to a couple of my guys was he won the golf tournament, not his team won the golf tournament. But I think those 3 shots that Mario used for his scramble probably influenced the game a little bit.
I tell him that he plays more golf than anyone I know, so at least it's paying off in some way. I don't know if it's helping us at Channel 9, but it's certainly paying off for him on his own time. Coach, this was a whole lot of fun. Thank you for coming on as always. Best of luck as the new season gets started, and I'm sure we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, Steve. All the best. Have a great year. Take care.
All right. You as well. Ian McIntyre joining us here on the show, and with that, we'll hit a timeout.
Wasn't there a professional reason you shouldn't have been doing that interview? Because your son is